prepare for an emotional roller coaster as we watch these unforgettable moments as loved ones reunite after years apart. This was the moment Abby decided to surprise her little brother after 14 months of not seeing him, and he couldn't believe his eyes when he hugged her. It was a moment filled with so much happiness and shock as Heather returned home to surprise her family after living in Australia for the past 3 years. Olin decided it was time to return home, and her family and friends were so happy to see her once again. Gila reunited with her bestie after a year apart, and it was a beautiful moment. Judy surprised her brother after being 6 months apart from each other, and it was so sweet of a moment. This was the moment Alex reunited with her long-distance bestie after a week, and they gave each other a huge hug. After missing her wife and son for 8 months, this guy finally reunited with them, and it was such a heartwarming reunion. It was a very emotional reunion as this lady surprised her brother after 8 long years of not seeing him at the hospital, and he quickly got emotional. Susie surprised her granny in France after a long time of not seeing her, and it's adorable. It was a well-needed hug as Valentina surprised her long-distance bestie after a year and a half of not seeing each other. Christine traveled all the way from Germany to Norway to surprise her best friends after being gone for almost 2 years, and it is safe to say they all missed each other. It was the best feeling ever when Shiraz, who was away in Germany for a year, finally reunited with his big brothers. Imi reunited with her brother after 8 months, and it was so sweet. This was the moment Mel surprised her brother for his birthday after a long time due to COVID and his battle with cancer. I have no idea who was more excited when Aaliyah surprised her boyfriend by reuniting him with his best friend after 4 years of being apart for his birthday. Vea was so blessed in this beautiful moment when she finally met with her mama after 5 long years, when she pretended to be a waitress to surprise her. Julie decided to surprise her friends after living abroad for a year, and they were so shocked they couldn't believe their eyes. This lady surprised her mom with her grandson after a year away from each other, and it was so wholesome. Zunita's big sis flew all the way from Canada to the Netherlands to surprise her after being gone for 5 years, and this was the moment they both had waited ages for. Sigrun was surprised by her bestie after a year apart, and she welcomed her with a very affectionate hug. After 2 years and 9 months of living in the Caribbean, this guy surprised his friend, and he couldn't be more excited to see him again.
Mate, we said this the other day and that. Not even replying and shit. Wow! Mate! What did we say the other day? Me, you and Chocolate Haze. Man's got in my fucking dressing gown.
It's freezing.
Man must be blitzed, bro. What's going on? How do you achieve? What's up, mate?
This young girl surprised her family in India after being in Canada for 4.5 years, and they were so happy to have her back home. Juana decided it was finally time to reunite with her friends and family after 3 long years, and their reactions were everything. Fahed traveled all the way from Canada to surprise her family living in Lebanon, and it was such a heartwarming reunion. Georgia had not seen her family for almost 3 years, and she had missed them every single day, and this was the moment she returned home and surprised everyone, and it's too sweet. Mariel's parents were in so much shock when they were finally able to see their daughter again after 3 years apart, and it was an amazing homecoming. Jeremy surprised her mother after 3 long years for the first time on her birthday, and she was so happy that her son was finally back home. Veronica went home to surprise her loved ones after not having seen them for 3.5 years due to living in Australia. Roanne surprised her family in India after not being able to return for 3 years, and their reactions were everything. Marty's children waited for their mama to return home after being gone for a long time, and it was such a sweet homecoming. This was the moment Vanessa decided to surprise her family after living in the States for 3 years, and nobody expected her lovely surprise. This family had no idea that Axton was returning home after living abroad for 3 years, and his father's reaction was priceless. After 3 years of living in Australia, this girl finally returned home and surprised her family members, who quickly got emotional. This was the day Julia surprised her family after being overseas for almost 3 years, and they all were so happy to see her. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this one as well.